folks, hope you all are doing well. I'm Karan Bandal from Econosite, and in this video let's talk about data centers and how it relates to the economy. Think about how much digital content you consume every day. WhatsApp messages, personal emails, work emails, online games, online streaming services, OTT entertainment, social media like Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, LinkedIn, Twitter or X, or even YouTube content like this video. What enables us to access all these platforms seamlessly and increasingly with ease and convenience? Think about how the time we spend on these platforms has increased over the last decade or so. It begins with connectivity. As internet speeds go up in a country and affordable internet becomes accessible to the masses in that country, digital consumption starts exploding. Think about it. In a country like India, if you bring high-speed internet that is affordable to the farmers in the rural village, how many people from there will begin accessing, say, a platform like YouTube to look up effective ways to farm, or even access entertainment that they can relate with? How many folks will become successful content creators from these remote places? India is only seeing rapid growth in this space now. With the rollout of 4G and more recently 5G, internet speeds in India are going up, and this high-speed connectivity is becoming more and more accessible to the masses by the fact that India has roughly 870 million 4G users and 130 million 5G users. That covers a billion Indians. Naturally, digital consumption in India is expected to take off. So beyond the connectivity, what else makes it all possible? It's data and data centers. In today's information abundant digital world, data is the new currency and data centers are the bank lockers that protect and power this new currency. Take this video for example. I am creating this video and you are consuming it. This video is being stored in some data center in the United States or India, and anyone connected to the internet can access it via that data center. It's these data centers that host all the digital content. You can probably guess the relationship between growth in the data centers and growth in the economy. It's a direct one. And even though the digital growth is relatively new for India, US, Europe, and some other developed parts of the world have been the trendsetters in this space. The amount of data created each year has grown over 20 times in the last decade. This exponential growth has created a massive demand for data storage and processing, which led to the construction of massive data centers all over the world. So here's how the global landscape looks like for the data centers. There are roughly 8,000 data centers in the world. These tend to be built clustered together in the areas with suitable infrastructure, support from the local government, and favorable power supply. Power supply or utilities is key because these data centers need lots of power to function, often at least 100 megawatts for each center. To put it in perspective, about 80,000 American homes put together consume that much power. And therefore, one of the best ways to measure the market size of data centers is through measuring their power consumption. Now, most of the data center markets are in the United States. Inside the United States, with nearly 300 data centers, including many AWS servers, the Northern Virginia data center market is the largest in the world, consuming over 2,500 megawatts of power. Data centers in this region are estimated to handle more than a third of global online traffic. It is no coincidence that the world's largest data center clusters are near capital cities or near major hubs for government and commerce. See, there is also a certain secretive US agency that operates from Northern Virginia. We can only imagine the quantum of data processing they must be engaged in 24/7. Even the famous Silicon Valley cluster, the 10th largest in the world, pales in comparison. On a similar note, Europe's biggest data center clusters are in London and Frankfurt. Looking at the top 50 data centers in the world, African region has only one big data center. South American region has 2, Asia has more than 10. In Asia, India has 3 big data centers out of the top 50, with Mumbai claiming the largest one. You can visually see the domination of Europe and the United States, which lines up with their contribution to the global GDP. Looking ahead, the expectation is that the data centers will continue growing in scale and expanding into new markets to meet the demands of digitalization. Also, a wider adoption of artificial intelligence is likely going to add to the growth and the amount of energy needed to power these centers. So, sustainability becomes increasingly important as well. In the Indian context, data center industry is on the brink of remarkable growth. At present, the data center capacity across the top 7 cities stand at roughly 800 megawatts spread across 11 million square feet. A $10 billion worth of investment is expected in this sector over the next 3 years. Led by exponential increase in data consumption, improving regulations coupled with robust investments in the sector, the data center capacity is likely to develop faster in the next growth phase, crossing 1800 megawatts by 2026. In the end, we need to realize the importance of data in the information age. As India's economy grows, India's data consumption will grow even faster. Considering the high energy intensity of the data centers, if India is able to power the upcoming data centers with mostly renewable energy, it will go a long way in alleviating the environmental impacts of the growth in this sector. I hope you found this analysis interesting. I'll speak with you again next week. Until then, take care.